Get excited, get excited. No, this is weird now, it's just sticking straight out. You know what before COVID, the whole craziness started. Jonathan, has Theo come out? He's dead.
We're good? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Freedom Central Canada. It's Selena Paley. I'm reporting live from Canadians for Truth Studios here in Calgary, Alberta at the Cardell Theatre. We are just moments away from hearing from none other than Christine Anderson, member of European Parliament. She's come all the way here to talk to Canadians from Germany to discuss our current climate, our current political climate in the country. And we are extremely excited and very eager to hear what she has to say. It's a trying time in Canada right now, just post the hearing the decision on the justification of using the Emergencies Act against peaceful protesters last year in January and February in Ottawa and various other places around the country. It was not the greatest of news, and we were just told moments ago by none other than Tamara Leach herself that Freedom Corps will be doing an official statement following Christine Anderson's press conference here with their thoughts on this Emergencies Act decision. So that will be interesting to hear. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that right after. We're going to go live for the entire duration of this press conference, as well as the public statement from Freedom Corps. So you guys stay tuned, okay? Thanks for joining us. You guys like and share this out. We are live. Hello, Miranda. Freedom Central Canada and Christine Anderson today, as well as Theo Fleury, Canadians for Truth, and Freedom Corps. Like and share this out, you guys. We are moments away from a live press conference with Christine Anderson. Let us know in the comments, what are you guys hoping to hear today? What kind of questions, if you could ask Christine Anderson, would you ask her? We're talking about some serious stuff here today with respect to our current government and its leader and the type of dictatorial, totalitarian dictatorship that is coming out of the House of Commons, Prime Minister's office. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to lay it out for everybody and hopefully get some answers. Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson has arrived. There is Tamara Leach. There she goes. Oh, Cody is in the way, as usual. Cody, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? We got Jamie Saleh over here. Oh, she's hiding.
She's hiding. It's easy for her to do that. She's only 5 feet. She's so cute. Oh, God, I love these guys so much, hey? Bringing truth to Canadians. This is such a great...
really good, really
so
good. Should we turn this around?
Yeah, we could, I guess.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I would like to see the comments. I've asked everybody to just put what kind of question that they would ask Christine Anderson if they could. So let's see your comments, you guys. Put them in, like and share. Give us some likes, some hearts. We're going to be talking about some serious stuff today.
My goodness.
Cody, are you excited to see Christine Anderson today?
I'm really excited. It'll be interesting to see, what she said in her iconic speech that I think you posted on the story or something.
Trudeau, please spare us your presence. Spare us your presence.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I mean, Alberta, when he came to Alberta and we found him, we told him to leave and never come back, but he didn't listen.
Yeah, he has been back since, but that's
back.
Okay.
Danielle
we will tell
Smith.
him again.
Shaking Danielle's hand. Oh my God, that was so good. Should we do a little reenactment? Let's do a little reenactment here for everybody. Okay. So I'll be Danielle Smith, and you be Justin Trudeau. Okay, wait. We got to bring it down a little bit. Okay. All right. Put your hand up. Something like that, right? Oh my gosh, so much fun. So much fun. Hey, Theo. Hi. So grateful for you guys. Are you excited for this day or
It's awesome.
what?
Yeah, it's great.
Do you think that we might hear a little bit about moving forward with something like crimes against humanity
Ask
or
her.
charges with genocide?
That's why she's here.
Okay,
Ask her,
fantastic.
ask her whatever you want.
Fantastic. Okay, good stuff. All right, guys. So,
That's why we have her here.
what do you guys think about Theo and Canadians for Truth? God, we love Theo Fleury, don't we? He's so fantastic.
He's so great.
Oh my gosh. And the team that is Joseph, Jamie, and Theo, unstoppable. Force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. We are Canadians for Truth. We all are. And I'm happy to report, everyone, that Laura Lynn has found her phone. There she is with it right now. What a beautiful person you are. Like, you're just gorgeous. Beautiful. So beautiful. All right, likes. I am live, yes. Yeah.
I have found my phone.
Yes.
It has been returned to me. I'm thinking in good condition. I'm hoping that it's actually my other phone. I have two phones, thank goodness. So we had a bit of an incident, but I have no explanation for. Right.
Okay, but I saw that you had written you had ousted or at least brought attention to some witchcraftery going on.
I had spoken out loud about the witchcraft, and that was being promoted on a Christian, supposedly a Christian. Ezra is from the Bible, and it was just shocking to me. People were, they could be deceived. Any case, I don't go for stardust and spirit guides, so I just called it out. That's all, and so they sent curses on me and on my family, and called me hornblower, and said that I should be prepared for consequences. So, of course, I just broke all of those off in the name of Jesus. I had no concern about their curses. But last night, when I was there, Svetlana was there, and then she was just staring at me. And so I walked away from my phone, and she stole it, but it's all on, like it's on the tail end of the clip because I was live streaming. So,
That's okay. Okay, go get Christine. Okay, we're gonna get Christine. We love Laura, but we love Christine too. It's just so bizarre.
Christine's priority today.
It's so bizarre that you called them out on witchcraft and then they tried to cast a spell on you. What an interesting response. And then stealing your phone. Oh my gosh. How did you get it back, by the way? Quickly tell me.
It's been returned to me from someone here today. She got in contact with them and returned it. So.
What a crazy time. What a crazy world we're in right now. Wow.
Quite honestly, I hope that she'll find some help because it's been a lot of issues that have happened, and it needs to be addressed by herself.
It's just so interesting because everybody was asking what's going on with Ezra Wellness. They were just like literally asking us just recently.
They were like
Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so excited for you guys watching right now because you are sort of behind the scenes right now as we set up and wait for Christine Anderson to come out and hopefully give us some answers. Some direction.
Test. How's that? Test 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3. It's good.
Can you put comments on so I can test the sound to make sure everyone can
You're
hear the sound?
good. I can see.
When she's speaking, though. Okay. Let's see the. Is this the comments right there?
Oh, they're right here.
We can't
Hard
see
to
them.
see. Yeah, Mr. Theo Fleury.
Yes, we do. Oh, I hear clicking of heels. Okay, guys, here we go.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Theo Fleury, and I'm the Director of Media and Business Development at Canadians for Truth. Welcome to our office. Canadians for Truth was founded to provide a community for people who believe in the importance of truth, freedom, and justice. To find out more about us, please go to canadiansfortruth.ca.
Like and share this out, you guys.
Today is to welcome our guest. She grabbed the attention of Canadians everywhere for her support of the Freedom Convoy in 2022 and her opposition of Justin Trudeau. She started in Alberta and will continue her trip east to meet the bravest people in the world, the supporters of the Freedom Convoy. Please welcome Member of the European Parliament, Christine Anderson.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me, and I hope I can answer all of your questions.
Ms. Anderson, thank you for coming to Canada. Could you tell us what you have felt being here in Canada, how it might have changed your perspective? Because I know you probably thought it was too cold to come here. But how have you experienced the people?
Well, it's been overwhelming, actually. I would have never expected anything like that. And like I said last night, I have never been made feel that welcome anywhere before. So I'm highly appreciative of that. I'm also highly appreciative of the Chinook coming in.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, I was terrified having to deal with, minus 30 degrees Celsius. And on top of that, the customs screwed it completely up because I bought this, heated underwear, and they took the power banks out of my suitcase. Well, it would not have done me any good. So I'm highly appreciative of the fact that it is, not that cold. It's actually how it would be like in Germany right now. But it's been overwhelming, and I will be back, whether you guys like it or not, because I didn't get to see anything of the beautiful landscape everywhere. So I will definitely be back, and we'll do that the next time around.
You've met a lot of Canadians so far. You're going to meet more very soon. What's your take with the people that you've been meeting and the conversations you've been having? How do people feel overall?
Well, pretty much everyone has expressed their gratitude towards me, which I kind of have a problem accepting that, because I'm the one being grateful to the Canadian truckers, because that's what was needed. That was the spark that was supposed to, or did travel through all over the world, and it gave millions and millions of people hope all over. And all I ever did was resonate what the Canadian truckers actually did. And they did what any Democrat should do, stand up against their government if they are overreaching and if they are curtailing and infringing on fundamental rights. And that's what the Canadian truckers did. And I will always be grateful for them and what they started.
Hi, Ms. Anderson. Selena Paley with Freedom Central Canada. Thank you so much for hearing our SOS call and for coming. We've heard a lot from you from your popular video about the trampling on our human rights. When do we move and transition into crimes against humanity and charges of genocide from an international criminal court of law perspective? Is that something that you can participate in and help guide us through?
That's a tough question, because right now what we're seeing is things are coming to light. A lot of people are waking up, thanks to the Canadian truckers also. But the vast majority of the citizens in all of these different countries, they're still clinging on to that hope that they have not been fooled by their governments. They are not ready to admit that the governments, in fact, are out to get all of us. And so it may still take some more time for other people to see it too. And what is going for us right now is their continued gaslighting of people. It's still safe and effective, and it's still this, and get your, tent booster now or whatever. So, but that actually goes for us, it's in our favor, because it sounds so ridiculous. And it will then lead to other people, at least questioning why they're still talking about this. And so there is hope that eventually the responsible ones will be brought to justice. Probably won't be the one actually calling the shots, because they're hiding in the shadows. So there will be lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies, obviously. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the EU Commission, there's been lawsuits filed against her. That the EU state attorney is investigating the surroundings of the contracts, which to this day we have not been privy to. We were given an opportunity shortly before Christmas to take a look at these contracts in like a room in isolation, no pen and paper, no phone, the whole shebang. I chose not to go because I would have had to sign an NDA, and I would have never been able to, raise any issue with these contracts. And I will continue to raise the issue with these I know what's in the contracts, seriously. They've been leaked all over. But I still expect the EU Commission to provide us with the contracts, because I'm an elected representative of the people. I have to answer to the people, but I can't, because they're not showing me what's in the contracts. So they are denying me to do my job, and I take that very personally.
Carrie, okay, go ahead.
Hi, Jonathan Bradley, Western Standard. My question for you is, one politician who's been pretty vocal about standing up for freedom in Canada lately is Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. What is your opinion on Poilievre?
I've spoken to him a couple of times. He seems to be a decent guy. And we need people that actually do think and go back to what democracy is all about and what elected representatives should do. It's to be elected by the people and then represent and act on their best interest. So it's beyond me how so many elected representatives simply have forgotten, or maybe it's more lucrative to not represent the people's best interest. And that's something that people actually need to change. They need to remind their elected representatives what their job is, and if they don't live up to that expectation, they should not get voted again into office. It's as simple as that, really. But a lot of people seem to have forgotten what democracy really is all about. But it's refreshing to see that in pretty much every Western democracy, you have new parties popping up. You see people that have never been in politics before. Danielle Smith, for instance. So these are actually, this is hope for the people. So yeah, I'm excited that we're seeing this in all the Western democracies, that the old parties that want to belong to the club or whatever, that they are actually under a lot of pressure right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out.
Carrie Lambert from the Chris Carey Show in beautiful Whistle Stop Cafe in Mere, Alberta. And we'd like to invite you up there anytime that you're back, and you stop in and have a Buster Burger.
Thank you, but careful, I might take you up on that.
Oh yes, absolutely. So here's a question, a statement kind of thing. With what has happened in the past few years and how corrupt our federal Liberal and MdEP governments are, and with the World Economic Forum and even Canadians elect a new federal Conservative government in the next election, and that it's possible that that government could be changed after that following election. Albertans have a way forward away from Canada with a path on a successful referendum on independence. Do you support that idea, especially after all other options between Alberta and the federal government have been exhausted?
Well, there is, in the UN documents, there is the right to self-determination of every people on the planet. And if a people decide that they want to be released into independence, then they absolutely have that right to ask for that, and they should be granted. It is a fundamental right to these people. So, I mean, if a people is forced under a federal rule of some kind, which has no regard for what that particular people wants, then yeah, obviously.
Hello, I'm Tony Hall from Global Research CA. I want to see what I can draw from you on geopolitics. And so allow me to widen the scope a little bit. And I won't go on for more than 4 minutes, but it might be 4 minutes to lay out the premise, because the people who did COVID, who somehow put that together, you know, they seem to be just warming up with global warming lockdowns. Suddenly, our food supplies are in danger. Natural gas isn't getting to Germany, so they can't make fertilizer. And there's this war between Russia and NATO, but a lot of people look at it as Germany has been attacked, and the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline amounts to an assault on Germany. And Germany, of course, doesn't have its own constitution, really. It's still under the constitution created by the conquistadors of Germany. After World War II, Germany is still occupied by American soldiers. I said 4 minutes. I'm about 2 minutes. I gave you a warning. Like, everything isn't just simple yes or no. So there's Germany attacked by the United States. We're in this war with Russia. You know, it's been a long-standing fear. What if the Germans and the Russians get together? It runs through the 20th century, Mackinder and all of that. And, you know, you come from the Alternatives for Deutschland party, which, you know, would like to see peace conference with in the Russian NATO conflict. So Germany has a big role in this. Canada, our government is going off to support Azov Battalion. There's a whole discourse about Nazis and denazification. So, you know, I'm throwing this out to you. You're the international person. You're our voice in the international context right now, the main one in the world, as far as I can see. So there it is. Talk to us about what's going on in Germany and Russia, okay, NATO, etc.
So first of all, we simply don't know who actually did blow up Nord Stream 2. All I know for sure is I know who it wasn't. Because had there been a single shred of evidence that it was actually Putin behind that, we would have never heard the end of that one. I mean, the newspapers would have, you know, shoved it down our throats from morning until night. But that didn't happen, did it? And since that didn't happen, I know for sure it was not Putin doing that. But I don't know who actually did. Then you mentioned Germany still has no constitution. And you're right about that. There was a provision in our Grundgesetz, in the basic law, pretty much, that once Germany was reunited, we would have an assembly to give the reunited German people a constitution. And yes, that has been something that we've always wanted. I have changed my mind on that one, and I will explain why. Look at the society we're living in now. Do you honestly believe that if we came up with a constitution now, it would be better than the Grundgesetz? No way. It would have transgender ideology, the whole climate madness. All of this would find its way in the Constitution. Oh man, this is so terrible. It's so dangerous. So please, anyone wanting to set up a new constitution, I caution very strongly. We cannot afford to do this right now. Now on the other things you mentioned. So let's be clear about this. My party takes national sovereignty very seriously. And what Putin did was a violation of the border of a national sovereign country. And that is a no-go. And a violation of a national border of a sovereign country is, by the way, also when refugees just trample all over a country. So, but it's no different. The violation of a national border is a violation, whether you come by foot and want asylum, or you do it with tanks and military means. That's an absolute no-go. But also, This war did not start in February 25 of last year. At the very latest, it started November 2014 with the events taking place on Maidan, when the protesting citizens were shot down. And it wasn't pro-Russian rebels back then, as we were told. We now know it was the Ukrainian government. And that's where you kind of connect the dots once again. What preceded that? The Ukraine was supposed to join EU, and there were negotiation talks. The Ukrainian people, however, didn't want to join EU. And their president did what the Ukrainian people wanted and said, my people don't want this, and he dropped the negotiation talks to join EU. And that's where the problem came about. EU will not take no for an answer. If they want Ukraine in EU, they will do whatever the heck they can to make that happen. And if that means shooting down people who are protesting a government and then removing an elected president and installing a new one who will do their bidding, they will do that. And that is the problem. And that was just the EU now. And I don't know who's bidding the EU really did in that regard. But that's a question maybe for another day. Thank you.
Hi, welcome again, Christine. My name is Indene Tsanotinetek. That means Yellowknife's woman. I'm from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. I say the diamond capital of the world because I have 5 diamond mines in our backyard. Gold mines, uranium, right? Beryllium, water. So that's all trade, right? Now, I understand that, for example, the United States government has a free trade agreement, and when Trump was in power, and I believe it was in 2016, he passed a new clause, or he implemented a new clause into that trade agreement that the United States would not do any business with any country that is deemed corrupt. So I am wondering.
They do trade with themselves, though.
Exactly. Well, this was Trump. Now we have Biden, right? So that changed the whole narrative. Because Sandra McKenzie, the other clan mother, and myself, we wrote a letter to Trump to file a complaint against the Canadian federal government, everybody, for corruption and whatever. So I'm wondering if the other countries in the EU have thought about that, taken that type of position. I mean, it's deemed the same as sanctioning, but I think this is a little bit more. So what's your idea on having that type of, I guess, what would you call it, rule?
Well, about these trade agreements. I mean, I'm a libertarian, so I support trade agreements. But they're not worth the paper they're printed on anymore, because these trade agreements are no longer negotiated by sovereign governments of sovereign nations. What we see now is we have, governments that are doing someone else's bidding. They're not they're for the people anymore. So whatever trade agreement you see, they will make sure it's beneficial to, international companies, pharmaceutical companies, for instance. They are the beneficiaries of that. It's no longer the people. So we need to take a really close look at these trade agreements, because most of them do not better people's lives, and they, pretty much only benefit the globalitarian elites. So that's why I've kind of reconsidered trade agreements, because you need to take a very close look at these contents. And it's also, of course, it is a way to once again disenfranchise sovereign nations. It is cutting down on the ability of sovereign nations, sovereign people to support themselves. So they're dependent on, getting whatever they don't produce anymore because it may be cheaper somewhere else. But then you have the problem, as we have seen during the lockdowns, there was no medication anymore because, the chain of supply, it was just all cut down. And in Germany, we're especially seeing that with Nord Stream 2 being blown up. I mean, we are pretty much out of gas. I mean, the only thing that saved us this winter, it was rather mild. And, but how is it going to go on? I mean, people cannot afford their bills anymore. And the bakeries are shutting down. And we're talking here energy price increases not 5 or 6 times. It's like, 12, 13, 14, 15 fold. People cannot afford this anymore. But that's, once again, where you connect the dots. If people can't pay their bills anymore, they're become dependent upon the government. And that's exactly where the government wants you to be. And when then they renegotiate a trade agreement, they don't have to listen to the people. They will do whatever the heck they want, and the people just have to suck it up unless they stand up and fight this. That's all I can say about that.
00002300098. Registered corporation to the States, Canada Corporation. What it did to our people is they have acted in conflict of interest. They have chief and counsel under INAC signing modern agreements who don't answer to us tribal people. Right now, Canada, they had perfected on us tribal people, now doing it to the civilians. They are putting you under their system as a commodity, not as a person, as a human. So what needs to happen is fire this government. And we need to get a true working government for everyone in unity. Not allowing immigration to come in, taking over the political parties, and then having to divvy out what was extracted from our resources out to other countries.
Can you frame that as a question, please? Can you state your
Oh,
name?
thank you.
Your
Oh,
name
sorry.
and then raise the question.
Ogamasqua. I've been appointed by my mother as grandmother to represent my siblings and my grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I'm a grandmother. Right now, as we speak, my whole family, from just my mother, not counting her siblings, we are 200 that have been removed from our communities, being told that we don't belong. But yet this was our land long before, for time immemorial. So I believe, is there a way that you can help us to have Canada Corporation get fired, terminated, whatever it takes, and that have a true working government that's for the people? Can you help us on that?
If I could do that, I would truly be a miracle of some kind. But unfortunately, well, it is a tough one. Now, I'm not really familiar with, how it's set up with the tribal people and, because we don't really deal with that in Europe. So I'm not quite clear on that. But to me, it really boils down to this. You're being denied your identity. You're being denied your culture. You're being denied your national identity, if you will. And that's exactly what is happening to every single Western democracy in the world, especially in Europe. So I can relate to what you're saying, and I was actually kind of hoping you could give me advice on that. Because as you know,